This is Fishing in Germany, and I just got some new gear in the mail, something I ordered from China. And that is something I've been really wanting to try. I haven't tried them yet, so I'm going to give these a try really soon here. And that's circle hooks. I got number 8. They're a bit small. I think I'll order some more, quite a bit bigger actually, just considering how circle hooks work. But the whole idea of a circle hook is you don't have to set the hook. The fish kind of sets the hook himself. And especially at one location I go to is in this when the weather's warmer, it's really active. I get a ton of bites, but you got to be really quick, and it's also multi-species. So if you don't know what's on there, it's kind of hard to tell how to react. Should you set the hook right away? Should you wait? So I get a lot of bites there that I don't end up catching. So I thought this would be really great to try out there. If you can see the shape, it's got the barb actually pointing in towards the shank of the hook. And with circle hooks, what I've been researching, it's actually, a lot of times it's going to look a lot bigger than it should be. You think it's too big, but it's not so bad to actually try bigger hooks with this, depending on what you're fishing for, of course. So I got these from China. There's supposedly 100 in here, and it cost me $2 and some change with shipping included. And that's interesting because, like, you hear a lot of people say, out of all the money you're going to invest in gear with hooks, you shouldn't go the cheap route. And okay, a more expensive hook, a Gamakatsu hook or something, they're going to be sharper. They'll hold the sharpness longer. They might not rust as fast, and it might not bend as easy. But for me, it's pointless. Those are a lot more expensive. And where I fish in rivers, snags are imminent, so you lose a lot of gear. I'd rather lose a hook that cost me a few cents than losing a hook that's cost me $1 or $2 every time. There's enough of them that I can just change them out frequently. So if they're getting sharp after use or getting dull after use, it's not a big deal. For the sake of this video, next I'm going to show you how to tie it to rig it, because these hooks come just as is like that. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use some green braid here, so maybe it's a little easier to see. Hopefully it's visible enough. And basically, I'm just going to first tie a knotless knot onto the hook. So, how long you want your lead line is up to you. I just did, 18 inches maybe for the sake of this demonstration. Depends on what depth I'm fishing at, what I'm fishing for. Generally, you want to use a line that's a bit lighter than your main line, because if it breaks, if you get snagged, you'll just lose that end piece, not your whole line that's in the water. All right, so for a knotless knot, really, really easy knot, but really strong. You run your line through the eye, and it doesn't have to be so long, but I'm going to leave just a bit along the length of the shaft here, something I can grab onto easily, because I'm going to trim that later anyways. So I hold it here to hold it parallel with the shank, and I'm going to start wrapping around. 7 wraps here. Let's see, 1, 2. It depends on the size of the hook. 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 7 is usually good. I'll do 8. I can fit it. Then I kind of pinch that to hold it in place. And I run the other end of the line back through the eye of the hook. Let me try that again. And pull it tight. So there, I have my knotless knot. Really simple knot, really effective. And I'll kind of cinch it tight, and there we go. Can trim the tag off end. And now for the other end, I'm going to tie a surgeon's loop knot. Another very effective, very easy knot. So you just double over the end, enough to easily grab and work with. Something like that. And you're going to make an overhand knot. Run that through. And I actually wrap it around twice through that loop. So my overhand knot, then that looped end I put again through the middle here, and pull it slowly, evenly tight. With mono, I don't know if it's so important with braid. It's a good idea to wet it before you cinch it tight. That just stops the friction from heating it up and weakening the line. I don't think that's going to be an issue with this kind of braid. And I don't even know if I'll end up using this one with braid, but maybe on one of my heavier pulls. All right, so now I have something to attach to my swivel. And if you're using just like a barrel swivel, it doesn't have a open an end that you can open up. It's just a circle. What I'll do is just run that loop through the circle. Let's use these scissors as an example. So say this is my swivel. I'll run that loop through and put the hook through the loop. And then pull it tight. Oops, missed it. That's where it shows I need to wear glasses, which I don't normally do unless I'm driving. There we go. There you have it. And that's cool because you can actually undo it really easily as well. So if you're just using, like I said, a barrel swivel, that's an easy way to attach it and change it fairly easily. Or we just grab that end and run it back through. All right, so a couple things on using a circle hook is also it's important how you bait it. Like with a J hook, normally where, let me cut this tag off too. A J hook, a lot of times you're trying to like cover up most of the hook. Whereas a circle hook, you want to leave the barb really exposed for the way it works to set in the fish's mouth. Yeah, this braid is always a pain to cut. I thought these scissors were sharp. There we go. All right, so you want to leave a lot of the barb exposed with a circle hook. So I'll use like a soft plastic worm here and kind of show you an example. I'll just go right through the very tip of the bait. And pull it all the way down to the middle of the bend, like this. That gives plenty of room for the fish's mouth to get around that barb and to set itself. And yeah, I mean, if you see videos on using a circle hook, basically the idea is you don't have to set the hook. You don't want to do that. The way I see it is, yeah, I'm going to just let the way I plan on using this is a sliding sinker, sliding weight with a swivel, and then tying on the lead line. Bottom fishing, leave the line kind of tight and just wait for a hit. And instead of setting the hook when I see a hit, I'm going to let that line, let the fish set itself. And then once it feels like it's on, then you can, I don't think it's going to hurt to give it a quick tug to just really drive the hook in, but it should already be set in theory. So that's it. I'm really anxious to give these a try. Hopefully in the next week I will be back on the river and trying these out and see how they work. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Always hit like, hit subscribe, leave any comments you feel like leaving. Always appreciated. That's it.